All right, so we are now live. Welcome to the House of Horrors. Stephen, the Horror Freak 85, and with me, as always, Miss Boomstick. And
What
since
up?
hello, boom! Here comes the boom. We gotta get that intro music from.
Well, that'd be copyrighted, but I'd have to make our own.
That's right. We'll just like speed it up. Here comes the boom, 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 boom. Here comes. Just speed it up. There we go. No copyright there. So. But yeah, since Halloween Ends finally came out to theaters and Peacock this weekend, figured we'll go ahead and talk about the whole trilogy. And when we get to Halloween Ends, we'll just give a little brief non-spoiler thoughts, and then after that, we'll go into more details. So we'll say warning before we get into anything else. That way, if you haven't seen it yet, won't ruin anything for you. So. But yeah, I enjoyed it. We'll get to that just a bit. Of course, it all started the 2018 one in the trilogy. So it's let me go ahead and I'll do the cast list. Or do you already have it up, or do you want me to?
No, but I can.
I can
Give me
bring it up
one
there real
second.
quick. I should have had the first one up there. Of course, Jamie Lee Curtis. Can't forget her. The scream queen of them all. Judy Greer plays her daughter. We got Andy. I'm not sure how to say her last name. Is it Mitchok? Matchok?
Your guess is as good as mine. Yeah, sure.
Whatever. But yeah, she plays the granddaughter, Allison. Then we got James Jude Courtney is the Shape. I guess. Oh, okay, probably like a flashback or something, because they do have Nick Castle as the Shape in it as well. So I'm trying to think when he was probably in it, but that's interesting. I didn't realize that.
Well, I know he was in it on the mental institution. I think when they took off his mask, or when he's standing on the roof of the mental institution, that whole scene was just fucking weird. But when they're standing on this thing, I'm pretty sure that was Nick Castle.
Okay. It's like they wear the same William Shatner mask, so who knows?
Right. Well, I don't think he had his mask at that point because the investigator dude had it at that point.
Oh, okay, before the mental. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, when they go to the mental asylum and they had all the people on the roof for some weird reason and the dog barking and
They all went crazy when they brought out the
the mask.
which is kind of weird. Like when he was saying you could sense it. Yeah, that's what I was going to bring up after that. But we got some of these names I don't even know how to pronounce here, so forgive me. Halleck Billinger, he was the doctor in it, the new Loomis, I guess you could call him. Which, yeah, he's a little psychotic himself that we find out later on, and obsessed with Michael, and I guess wants to know what it's like to be him, or like what's in his mind. And then we got Will Patton is Officer Hawkins. Rain Reese is Dana, who's one of the people doing the documentary. And then Jefferson Hall played Aaron, the other documentary team, whatever, that they want to see what they can learn from Michael, even though when they speak to Lori, there's like something to learn. Like she's just think it's ridiculous pretty much. Toby Haas plays Ray, which I believe is the husband. Let's see. Then we got some friends, and the boyfriend of Virginia Gardner played Vicky. Dylan Arnold, Cameron. Miles Robbins, Dave. Then we got Drew Sheed as Oscar. Gibber. Okay, I'm not sure how to say his name.
Yeah, no clue.
You see what I'm talking about? Gibber.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I cannot help you one bit.
Nantambu is his last name, I guess. Jibril Nantambu, which I probably butchered that, but just like his babysitter got butchered. Yeah. Michael Mick plays a warden. Then there was the guard, and then let's see, a caretaker. Yeah, and then it's just like little minor characters from there. But yeah, it starts out that documentary team. They want to learn more about Michael's. So they're at the institution talking to the doctor, and they're able to go out onto the court. I guess they let the patients outside. Don't know why they let them on the roof though, which is weird. How they're all
Yeah, that whole
around.
scene was just weird.
I mean, I understand them being outside, but if they're mental, what are they doing on a roof when they could even like just jump off if they're out of it, or who knows. Um, but I guess he had some free time outside, and he was told he can't go past the line too close to him. He's trying to talk to Michael, get his attention, and he's told that he can speak, he just chooses not to, and he's hoping that bringing out his mask might get his attention. Apparently it got everyone else's attention. So it, like, I guess if it's a first time seeing it, or even if you have a theory about it, like at first thought maybe the mask is what gave him power, or he could sense it, or I mean that's just what it makes it seems like it's
Yeah.
weird. So I guess you can interpret that scene however you'd like, if it does have power, or whatever. Because he's the boogeyman, and killing, which we later find out of something that she says in Kills, which I'll get to. But so everybody starts going crazy. The dog starts barking, and so apparently animals can sense evil. Yeah, and the whole ward, everybody's going crazy except him, and he's like, saying, "Can you sense it?" or "It's here, Michael." It was just totally weird. Which those of you who have seen it know exactly what I'm talking about. So
Yeah, it was in the trailer as well. So if you haven't seen it, that whole scene was in the trailer. That
in the
was like the
trailer,
emphasis of all the trailers, was that one scene.
yeah, that was like the whole them introducing Michael in the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And those same two, Aaron and Dana, they want to try to speak to Lori to see what they can learn from her, and maybe convince her to talk to Michael. And we find out she's been living on her own, and she's got like that no trespassing cameras, and she's just been like living in seclusion waiting for Michael to escape. She knows it was coming, so she's just preparing. And we also find out about her daughter, how she trained her daughter to be prepared, and that's why she was taken away, wasn't raised by her. Um, like taught her to shoot when she was like what 9 or 7 or something. Just trained her in martial arts and everything so she could protect herself. Um, because she's afraid Michael's going to come after, and after all these years, and have their final battle, which of course will be a while, but she's just setting everything up in motion. They offer her like I think like $5,000 to try to
So it
introduce.
was, yeah, it was a decent amount of money. I don't remember how much, but it was quite a
Something,
bit.
yeah, something along that. And so she accepted to let him in, but she only talked to him for like 2 or 3 minutes, and she's just pretty much told him, he's evil, and there's nothing to learn. And she basically, after just says her piece on that, just uh, kicks him out of there. So, um, and we get the granddaughter Allison. She's with some friends later on, and they do mention about that time of Halloween, and they were saying, "Oh, isn't that your grandmother's brother?" And she was saying how that's something people say. So they like,
Right, that was a
that's like,
rumor, which I always thought that was weird that they changed that, but each their own. They want to make a different
mm-hmm.
timeline, I guess.
And instead of her just getting away, it kind of makes to me like her being the sister like more of a reason than just some random one person.
Yeah, it's
But
supposedly
her,
scarier, not knowing why he's after her particularly.
yeah, just whatever reason there is.
And
So.
take away the motive where you don't know.
Mm-hmm. So, but hey, it is what it is, and I guess it worked all right. Um, so the bus is, or Michael's going to be
Did you
transferred.
find me? Hi.
Oh,
Sorry.
we
The
got a
dog
friend.
just, yeah, the dog just came in and she didn't know I was over here, so she came over trotting.
All excited. What you doing?
Right. Like, I found you. Hi.
Oh, it looks like Aaron's here. Hello. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, no worries.
So
No,
thanks for
you are
stepping in.
required to be here on time. You will be docked points.
Yeah.
I don't know what your points equate to, but you will be docked points.
Well, it's like whose line is it anyway? Where the points don't matter. So we'll just like 500 points. Oh, minus 300. Why? Because I said so.
There is no unexcused absences. You cannot have a doctor note. I'm just playing. I'm just making shit up.
Yeah. Uh, so anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, about the prisoners being transferred. Um, yeah, if you want to tell us your favorite Halloween while you're at it, Aaron, or anything that you liked.
And we're just talking about, well, if you have a favorite other than the
Third
late,
or ends,
the
yeah.
new trilogy, that's fine. But that's basically what we're talking about. So you're not
Oh,
completely
like
out
saying
of the
like
loop.
Halloween 4 or 1 or yeah. I
Right.
mean, hey, that's fine though if that is your
Right.
favorite.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's fine if those are your favorites. Like I'm wearing Silver Shamrock right now. So,
And we get a reference of that in the second one, which again we'll get
and the
into.
first.
Oh, and the first, yeah.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. The kids trick or treating are wearing the mask, the Silver Shamrock mask.
yeah. So that was interesting how they threw those in. I like that.
And it's more predominant in the second one because you see the mask a little bit more than.
Yeah. Than the quick trick or treaters.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when Aaron and Dana were talking about trying to talk to Michael before he was being transferred. Um, so, oh, also Allison, the granddaughter, she's I forget, was it her graduation or something? Yeah, she was graduating, and
Graduation.
they were having a dinner or some celebration or whatever. And so that's why Lori took the money to go ahead and just give it to her granddaughter. And Allison was like asking her mom if she was going to come to dinner, and she lied and said she had spoke to her, even though she didn't, because Allison had tried to convince her, uh, try not to be too much of a recluse there, and get her out and everything. And um, there's the tension between Judy Greer, her mom, and her because of the way she was raised. And Lori's also become a little bit of a drunk too when she's around. So,
Well, to be fair, she's been a drunk in other movies as well.
well, yeah, well, I mean, because of what's been going on. So,
Right.
let's see, is the 190s? Can't remember. The intro is a college, high school.
Yeah, I'm thinking H2O was my guess.
Yeah, if that's the one with oh, what's his name? He was in the faculty also. Um,
Josh something or other.
yeah, I think that was him.
Pull up another IMDb thing. Josh Hartnett. Yeah.
Yeah, Josh Hartnett. There we go. That's right.
It also has Jamie Lee's mom in it. Tippy.
Hedron.
Yeah, I couldn't think of her last name.
Yep. Oh yeah, I forgot she was in that too.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, because she tells Jamie Lee Curtis it's always to have a. It's always good to have a scare on Halloween or something to that effect. I know I got the line butchered, but it's something to that effect.
Yep, I'll probably have a marathon of those again eventually, but so much other stuff to catch up on and watch, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just so much.
Right. And right now I've been so invested in this trial that I've been watching. I've been watching that more than anything else.
Is that the one where the guy ran people over or whatever in the parade?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, his name's Daryl Brooks. He's it's a Wisconsin trial, and it's in Waukesha, which is near Milwaukee, kind of. It's more closer to Milwaukee, but yeah, he
almost reminds me of Mr. Mercedes. He's just running down the crowd.
Kind of, but like yeah, he had an incident with his ex. He basically beat the shit out of her, tried to run her over with the car, and then he left the scene and just drove right down I would say right down the middle, but he weaves through the thing and he kills 6 people, but drives completely through the parade.
Jeez.
And it's just, luckily, thank God, they do play some of the videos, but they don't publish it to, because they are live streaming it. They don't publish it for everybody to see, thank God. But you just listening to the screaming is horrible. That's not the reason I'm watching.
Mm.
I'm just, because he is defending himself.
He's defending himself.
He fired his lawyer. He is
Wow.
defending himself, and he is claimed to be sovereign citizen. And it's just the amount of craziness. One, he doesn't understand what hearsay is. He doesn't understand, like, every time there's an objection,
Johnny Depp, hearsay.
he will say grounds before they even get to say, and even if they say grounds, they'll say objection irrelevant. Let's say, because relevant is your grounds. But if they say it or not, he just immediately grounds. It's like some of the people I've been watching stream the trial, because I don't watch just the trial. I watch these like commentators talk about it, that where I've kind of learned more. And they've been counting how many times he says grounds, and it's a good 100 times each day. It's a little less. It's usually he averages about 80, but it's close because you might miss a few.
Mm.
But yeah. But that is unfortunately the entertaining part. And then because he's a sovereign citizen, he likes to object, and because he doesn't identify as his name and objects to being called that, and he's represented himself as a third party of sovereign citizen stuff. And oh my god, he went on a 50-minute rant the other day. This judge has a patience of a saint. I can't believe how much shit that she has put up. But she's trying to give him as much fairness as possible so he can't have a claim to mistrial.
Right.
But oh my god, the craziness alone
It's like,
on this, because he's caught clips of me
so he
watching.
kind of just needs a butcher knife to him, pretty
Oh
much.
yeah, this guy. I mean, they caught him. He was pissed off about something the other day. I forget what it was. And like it was either before they went on break or when they ended for the day, he was just giving a death glare, and it was fucking scary. Thank God they have him shackled and have like tasers. They literally have like tasers attached to his leg, like taser shackles or something.
Mm.
Never heard such a thing, but they have like tasers on his ankles because he's like I guess they don't know what he's gonna do, but oh my god, it's just, he had the scariest look on his face the other day.
He's like an evil Michael Myers.
Oh god, yes, this man is evil. And honestly, watching the shit that I've seen in the last few days, and that's not with seeing every single video of what happened, Wisconsin needs fucking death penalty with this dude. Oh my god, he is. One of the witnesses the other day said that it looked like he was excited and basically enjoying what he was doing, and that was towards the end of it.
Mm.
But he injured like 70 some odd people and killed 6.
It's like, yeah. On that note, just like the bus crash killed all the
Right.
cycles there. But yeah, so where'd I leave off there? Oh, so they were at the restaurant. This was, well, actually, it was just before the bus crash because Lori was watching it. She was almost thinking about, she just wanted to go shoot him when he was getting on the bus, and she couldn't, or she ended up not going through and ended up drunk at the restaurant. And her daughter was all pissed off about it and kind of embarrassed in front of the boyfriend, who they planned on going as Bonnie and Clyde with a twist to a Halloween party. So after that, during that time, then we get to the bus crash, and there's a father and son driving home. It was either, I think it was a hunting trip or fishing trip, one of the two.
I believe it was hunting.
I think it was a hunting trip, and he was saying how he didn't he like want to dance instead or something funny, like instead of hunting.
Yeah, he wanted to dance instead of go hunting.
Yeah. And they come across the bus, and his dad thinking, he can help, and not knowing the situation, Michael ends up killing him.
Right, and the kid ended up having a bad vibe about it, but he's like, no, just stay.
even something like that though, with just weird random people, I'd stay in the car anyway. Just call the cops and just let them handle it. But
You don't know who's fucking psycho. But
these movies prove it. You don't know who's psycho
right,
exactly.
exactly.
And it's like I'm alive because of horror movies. I've learned. So
Oh, I know there's at least one time that I'm alive because of horror movies.
exactly. So and then I was surprised because I think that's probably like one of the first times we saw a kid get killed by Michael. I think, isn't it? I don't know if there were any others in the other movies or not, or I mean, especially being his neck broken like that was pretty brutal.
Right. Yeah, I don't remember.
But yeah, ends up killing the kid and starts going on his killing spree. And well, actually, before the killing spree, the same Dana. It's weird because he's starting his way to Hanfield, and I don't know if it's like that's probably next day. Maybe he's traveling during the night. But there's the Dana and Aaron, the people doing their documentary, are stopped at a gas station, and Michael actually comes across her in the bathroom, ends up smashing Aaron's head in, picking her up, breaking her neck. How he does. He's just super strength, just killing pretty much anyone in his way. And he found their car and got the mask out of the car, which is like, how does he know their car? Like, how does he know all this? But I guess maybe that's the way like the mask called to him, I guess you could say. So
Michael just knows.
he knows where his William Shatner face is.
Yeah.
So after that, he starts like, of course, going on his killing spree and ends up at that friend of Allison's who's babysitting that one kid who couldn't say his name, the kid who played him.
All right, let's see. His character name is
it I don't know why I was thinking Jordan or something, maybe. Where was it?
Maybe Julian.
Julian. Okay, my bad. Yeah. So Michael ends up being in his house, and he's telling his babysitter there, and of course she gets attacked, and Lori is listening to the police scanners, so the kid is able to call the police to get there, and that's how Lori first comes in contact with him. But prior to that, he's just going on that killing spree, kills that one woman in the house, and it's just pretty much he's just slaughtering whoever's in his way on his way to Lori, basically.
Yeah, what I like about the kid situation, he just keeps saying, there's somebody in my closet. Does he call him the boogeyman? I don't remember. But anyway, he's saying that, there's something in my closet. And she's like, no, there isn't. She opens up the closet. Like, see, there's nothing in there. And then, Michael just kind of comes out and it's like, surprise. Yeah, the boogeyman is in your closet.
Exactly. Yes. The boogeyman is real.
Yes.
As like Lori said to Aaron in the beginning, he was saying, you don't believe in the boogeyman. He's like, I believe in Michael Myers. But not the boogeyman. It's just they don't know until they experience it.
Right.
So yeah, what else was I gonna say? Allison was at the party while this was going on. Her boyfriend cheats on her, is kissing another girl, and she leaves the party with another friend who ends up like having a crush on her and tries to kiss her while they're going through the park or wherever they were cutting through, heading home. And she leaves them because that's not what she wanted. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm drunk and horny and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'm sorry. And she goes off by herself, and Michael kills him through the fence, hangs him up there. I think it was near a graveyard, wasn't it? It was like a metal gate, sort of. Like houses.
Maybe. I think I remember a metal gate, so maybe.
Or
I don't
nearby.
really quite remember, but
something along those lines. But the metal gate, he kills him on there, stabs him while he's going through and hanging up. And when the cops are called, what was his name? Frank, who was actually one of the original cops who knows Lori throughout the years. And so he's investigating, and Dr. whatever the new Loomis, we'll just call him New Loomis.
Right.
When they go to find him, actually stabs the cop and brings Michael, in there. So she has to escape through all that. Whoa. Okay, what's going on with my computer? Oh, sorry. Something weird was going with my computer there. Okay, it's fine now. The screen was okay. Nothing happened. There was like something going on the side, like it was going through the comments. That was weird. I don't know what that was. That was really weird. But
The ghost has taken over and it wants to make a comment.
oh my god, it's something I don't want to spoil. Yeah, but anyway, it's like I'm next apparently. That was weird. Um, and finally, though, she makes it to her grandmother's house. To grandmother's house we go. This is the trap set up, and the dad does get killed though, thinking that the cop was in there. Um, so Allison's father does get killed, uh, and then when they're setting the trap for Michael, Allison ends up being there after when her mom. What's the second one? No, because I know the mom helps and gets killed. Oh, but that's the end of the second one, though. That she helps her. Yeah. Sorry, got my movie confused there. I'm like, wait a minute. They're all together in that part there. So they trap him. Lori has her little fight, and then she had set her house up as a trap to burn down, and hoping to end it there by burning Michael alive. Unfortunately, though, that doesn't happen. So we continue on from there to Halloween Kills. So, any other thing you want to say about the first one?
I don't know. Besides, PJ Souls played a teacher, and it said Sandy Johnson. It said from archive footage, so it must have been like a flashback scene from like the old movie, because I was reading through the rest of the cast, and it said that it was from archive footage or something. So they made appearances as well in the movie.
In the flashbacks, yeah. I think it did for Sandy, like it was in the beginning of the movie when they were talking about how Michael killed his sister, and they sort of did the flashback of her. Because I think there was a flashback in the beginning. For Kills, pretty much the same main cast. It looks like they had another. That was probably in the flashback, because there's a third person that played the Shape. It says the Shape 1978, Aaron Armstrong. So besides Nick Castle and James Jude Courtney, there was a third Shape. Will Patton's still in it, who was Officer Hawkins. And then since there's a flashback, there was a younger Hawkins played by Thomas Mann. Jim Cummings is Pete. Dylan, who was Cameron the boyfriend, he still has a little minor part. Well, no, it starts off with him, but he gets killed off in it, of course. It's like if the boyfriend's not the killer, they get killed too. That's usually the way it works. Anthony Michael Hall is Tommy Doyle. We got Charles Cypress plays Lee Brackett, which actually he was in the original Halloween as the sheriff. So that's he had a cameo in that. Let's see. Oh, they were funny. Scott MacArthur and Michael McDonald. We got a married gay couple, Big John and Little John.
They were by far my favorite characters of this movie. Going through the house and doing like Marco Polo, but they're like Little John, Big John. Oh my god, I absolutely loved those characters. I hated seeing what happened to them, but you gotta have your kills. It's a slasher film. You gotta have your kills, unfortunately.
Especially for a movie that's called Kills.
So. Yeah. So I hated what happened to him, but they was by far my favorite characters out of the whole fucking movie.
Yeah. Kyle Richards was Lindsay. We got Nancy Stevens was Marion. Diva Tyler, Sandra, who I believe was the neighbor, the married couple that got murdered. Lenny Clark played Phil. Let's see. Michael Smallwood was Marcus. Carmela McNeil is Vanessa. Omar J. Dorsey is was a sheriff. Barker. Let's see. Salem Collins was Christy. Giselle Witt, Mindy. I think there's some other like just little minor people. Then we're getting
Oh,
into
yeah, I'm trying to see if
Lilith's.
there's
Yeah,
any recognizable names that we know. But I know, like Vanessa, she was the nurse,
yeah.
and I don't see her doctor. But oh, Marcus. Marcus was her boyfriend or husband.
That's at the karaoke bar or whatever when they're
Yeah,
telling the story. So
yeah. The pictures are little, so I'm trying to recognize these. On the computer, they're a lot smaller than they are on the phone.
right.
But I'm trying to see anybody else that pops up that I recognize.
Yeah, but then it gets like into the group of like little supporting roles.
Right, and then PJ Souls has archive footage
Mhm.
as Linda.
Totally.
Yeah, I should have worn my Totally shirt.
You totally should have.
I was on the fence. It's like, do I want to wear my Totally shirt or do I want to wear this? And it's been kind of cold the last few days, so I was like, I'll wear this. And now I'm kind of warm, so I kind of wish I would have worn my T-shirt instead.
Mhm.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then we had Tom Jones Jr. He was how they brought Dr. Samuel Loomis back as well in this one because
Mhm.
it made it look like it was actually Loomis, but they did his makeup and made him look like Loomis, so it wasn't like CGI. It was actually a dude in makeup. And then they had a guy named Colin. I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name. Mahan as Dr. Samuel, Loomis's voice. So I guess it was a collective effort to bring Dr. Loomis back to us.
Yep. Apparently,
Mm-hmm.
makeup and voice actors. All
Yeah,
right.
and they did an excellent job making that guy look like Loomis. I know a lot of people thought that was just like CGI'd in, and it might have had a little bit of CGI into it, but yeah, that was just amazing how they brought him back.
Yeah. But yeah, it sort of leaves off in the beginning there. Allison's boyfriend, but obviously not for long. He's talking on the phone saying how he messed up and he was trying to find her, and he comes across his friend dead, and then the injured cop Frank, who Lori knew from the years prior. So he calls the cops there uh, to get help. There is the flashback to the night Michael was caught. But yeah, so let's see. So not too much in the beginning there, just like a little intro, and then the flashback. And we got the survivors from the original attack. Tommy. Uh, let's see. There was Tommy, Lindsay, Mary, and Wally. They're at this bar, and that's where the couple are. That Vanessa, the nurse, and her husband are dressed up as the nurse and doctor. And at first, they're kind of get them to keep it down. They're trying to have their celebration at the table, and they didn't realize at first, that's all the survivors celebrating. That they're still survivors and it's Halloween. But Tommy does go up and he tells the story about, some of them might be too young or don't care. And he's telling each of their story. Yeah, he gives a toast to each one who had survived their encounter. Uh, Tommy, of course, had the encounter with his babysitter. Mary was the nurse that was assaulted in the car that Michael Myers drove off, apparently. Like, how did he learn to drive? We never did get that question answered. But yeah, so they flash back to each of their story of what happened in the original. And once the couple finds out, that was him, they felt bad. They bought them a drink and they're talking and hanging out at this karaoke bar. Uh, and then, of course, while that's going on, the house that is burning that Lori set the trap for. That we think Michael's going to get burned, or she was hoping that get burned. The firefighters are coming, putting the fire out, and then one of them thinks he's helping a survivor, not realizing what's going on.
Right.
Helps out Michael Myers, and he just goes. It lives up to kills. He fucking kills them all.
Yes, it's probably one of the best scenes in the whole movie is the firefighter scene. I know a lot of people had problems with it, but still, it was an amazing scene.
Yeah, probably was one of the best, or the mini deaths of it. The best mini deaths.
Right, and honestly, I think because out of all the slasher movie, I don't know if you want to call like all the slasher, well, all the big icons of horror, they have like a tally of deaths. I'm pretty sure, I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure after kills, that I would assume brought Michael up to at least close to Jason, if not higher, because Jason was the ruler of the kills.
Yeah.
So that had to either put him level or above this movie. That had to. There was so many kills in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I should go and do a kill count just out of curiosity how many firefighters there were, because there was like a whole group of them at least. Like,
yeah,
I mean, there had to be at least more than 10 or 15 just alone right there.
Right. So. Yeah, just in that scene alone, and that's not counting everybody else that he killed. Yeah, which was quite a few. And then we see the mask again. I don't remember where it is in the timeline because I didn't rewatch this one, but we see the silver shamrocks. Hello, Phil's creepy videos.
Oh, hello.
What up?
Yeah, it was later on when the couple that got killed when they were in the car and they're trying to track him down. Once they find out that he's on the loose again, and Tommy is dumb and wants to. Well, I mean, he's not dumb for wanting to track him down, but there was that mental patient that was mistaken as
right
Michael Myers later on.
That's one thing I hated about this movie. Well, not that part, but when they're at the hospital, it's like, because they're all walking past the morgue. It's got windows. It's on the main floor. Everybody's like in the main like lobby of the hospital, and the morgue's just right there with windows that you can see in. That is not feasible. They usually have it like in a basement or lower floor. People can go and identify bodies or whatever in peace. They don't have it on the main floor right off the reception desk where people can see in and see dead bodies as you're walking into the hospital. That's one thing I didn't like, but nitpick, I guess. And of course, evil dies tonight.
It doesn't. It doesn't for another.
We needed an evil dies tonight counter, to be honest.
Yeah,
if we go back and watch this movie, we're gonna do a kill count and an evil dies tonight count.
Take a shot every time they say evil dies tonight. Yes. That's the new Halloween drinking game.
Would you die? Would you die from alcohol poisoning? Maybe.
I don't know.
I know there's been a lot of back to a little bit to the trial I've been watching, because this dude says ground so many times. People have been joking about making a drinking game of that, but you'd be dead by noon.
Oh yeah, especially since they said he did it 100 times or whatever.
At least he does it about approximately 80 times a day. So yeah, you would be dead if you took a drink. Well, I guess it depends on your tolerance, but
either way, that's a lot there.
Yes.
We also have, before you get that hospital scene, Laurie's neighbors, a couple, they were murdered. Michael made his way through that, which kind of remember that something will be brought up later on, possibly. So he killed them. He took that glass and slit her throat, smashed the husband's head. He does a lot of smashing and. Oh, where are we echoing? Are you echoing? Hello? I hear an echo.
It's not me. I wasn't even talking at that point.
No, I know you were talking. I don't know why I have an echo now, but I hear it as I'm talking. But
Hmm.
do you hear it, or is it just me
I think
on
I
my
don't
end?
hear it now. He'd freeze a little bit here and there though.
Hmm. Okay, I think it's stopped now. No, I still hear it. Oh well, as long as you don't hear it, and it's just on my end. I
If
don't.
it bugs you too much, pop in and out.
Yeah, that's true. I might do that. I'll be right back.
Okay. But yeah, Halloween Kills is I would say it's my favorite out of the three new ones. I know a lot of people hate it, but I'm quite partial to it.
Okay, let's see. Testing. Hello. Okay.
Hello.
Okay, I'm good. Just making sure I'm not echoing on my end. Echo, echo.
Yeah, I haven't heard no echo, so.
I guess it was just my end, but it was annoying to me though. I mean, at least
Right,
you can
yeah.
hear
It
it.
throws you off when you hear your own voice.
So yeah. What's up, Hobbs? So, um, what was I saying about the? Oh yeah, the neighbors get killed, and then when you were talking about the Shamrock Mask, that's when Tommy and Lindsay and them were in the car at the park. She was telling them that they need to run off, and they were like, oh, "There's some pervert looking at us," not realizing that it was not realizing that it was Michael. So,
What up, Hobbs? Join the party.
yeah, we'll be getting to end soon, but uh, so then I believe it was Wally was the her boyfriend's dad that had took her and the son, and they were, or Allison kind of like snuck out and wanted to, help what was going on. And Lori didn't know right away yet that Michael was alive. She was thinking he was dead because that's what her daughter had said. Didn't want to worry her because she was wounded from the first one when she got stabbed.
Right.
But the secret doesn't stay out long, and um, she's worried, wants to go after her. The boyfriend, what was his name? Well, whatever, Cameron, I think it was, whatever. Um, they're fighting him at his house, or whose house was it? The babysitter, whatever house it was. They were fighting. They were trying to track. Oh, it was the Little John's house, and them because they were murdered.
Yeah, which, if I remember correctly, Little John, Big John moved into Michael Myers' house.
That's what it was. Yes.
Yeah.
That they were telling the story to the trick or treaters to try to
Right. Yeah, scaring the kids.
The one kid ran in, is like, got all your candy. And he's like, oh, you don't know who Michael fucking Myers is?
Yeah, I absolutely loved those people. That was like the best part of the movie, my opinion. But
well, the funniest. There we go.
yeah, which fits the stuff that I like. I thought it was funny, so yeah, it was definitely.
What's also funny, I didn't realize it. I think was it I saw it on TikTok. Someone was comparing his death, like how he stood there when Michael came at him, because he had a character in Austin Powers when the steamroller was coming by, and he's just standing there, like until the steamroller hit him. So they're like, oh, he just wherever he does, he just stands and waits for his death. Apparently,
start Michael Myers.
So. What was that?
He said, which starred Michael Myers?
That was
Technically, yeah.
Mike Myers. So he got killed in 2 movies with Mike Myers. Wow. And Mike Myers was saying he would do another Austin Powers movie, so we'll see how that works out. But that's kind of funny. I didn't even think of that. It's like, duh, Mike Myers.
That's why he's freaking out.
Yeah, it's good. I was about to feed them though, so that's why I'm taking his food bowl away.
How was that? Got a animal freaking?
Yeah. Oh, our cat. Oh my god, he is so annoying. Like anytime anybody stands up or goes remotely near, so we keep his hard food. There's a bookshelf off to my side here. We got to keep his hard food up there, or the dog will eat it. So anybody that stands up or remotely goes anywhere near this bookcase, he just freaks out and leads you to the food bowl. It don't matter how much time. It could be 2 minutes, if that. You could just lead him. He could snack, and somebody else could get up, and they have to go to the food bowl as well. So annoying.
It's a never-ending feeding.
Yeah, which he usually always has food in there, but you have to go and show him his food bowl like every 2 minutes.
Right.
He forgets either that or he's like, "Oh, you got to go show me my bowl."
I think he
You are
just
my slaves.
shows the status of his football.
Maybe. Who knows? Cat's weird.
Yeah. So yeah, we get to their death, and so Allison and her boyfriend are in the house. Michael kills him on the stairway, bashes that in, and like breaks his neck on the banisters of the stool. And Allison's, taunting him, saying "fucking do it." She's being stupid, pretty much, just trying to lure him down because obviously, what can she do? She's lucky her mom came and saved her at the
Right.
right time. But unfortunately, yes, and she runs off with Michael's mask, the mom, Allison's mom, and so Allison's there, and of course Michael tracks down her mom, kills her again. Another victim on the kill list. And
Which I thought her character was annoying, so I wasn't too
she was kind of annoying.
devastated. I wasn't, too devastated with her kill, but
Yeah, she was a kind of annoying. She was an annoying mom.
yeah, definitely.
So, and then at the hospital, of course, which we had mentioned was before they track down Michael the mob, they falsely go after one guy that's a mental patient and not Michael, saying evil dies 150,000 times. So,
Right.
and that guy ends up jumping off the roof, and Tommy didn't realize his mistake. He wouldn't listen to the cop, which was so stupid because Lori was even trying to tell her, like, hello, and it's not Michael, stop. But the crowd was just too wound up and pretty much just
Mob mentality.
yeah. So, and they end up tracking Michael down again, and they start beating the hell out of him. But then he, gets his power back and kills them, smashes Tommy, all the whole group there, and
The iron didn't even save him.
no. You would have thought of all the weapons that iron would have got it. That should have killed him. That
one would have been, which was funny. I never even noticed that till the memes started coming out. When I've watched it, I did not notice it, and I've been curious. I've been wanting to watch it again. I thought about watching it today, but I know if I watched it today, I wouldn't have hit ends before we got talking. So I went ahead and watched ends. But I've been curious about that because I never noticed it till the memes came out.
right.
I still can't believe they sent that poor lady out to fight Michael Myers with a fucking iron.
I mean, whose idea was that even? Like, oh, let's just get that iron.
Like, just grab what you can. It might have been placed there just so people can notice something goofy. I don't know.
Yeah. And Lori, like, is trying to call her daughter or whatever. Whenever it was near the end, and it ended up like she heard Michael breathing, and she just said that she was coming after him, and that's how that ended. So, and we get our
like pretty much the only movie that Michael does art projects with his bodies as well. I don't think any other movie he really. Oh, I take that back. Either the first or second one, he does, I guess, an art project where he puts the tombstone on the bed, but I guess it'd be that. But he like places the bodies. He like moves them in different
positions.
Positions, and he puts the mask on some of them. The Halloween 3 mask.
Yeah.
But yeah, he does art projects in this one, which I think was great. I thought that was a good touch.
Yeah. So, and finally, the one that just came out on Peacock Theaters. I'll go ahead and read the cast list. We'll just do a little brief non-spoiler, and then we'll let you know when we go more into it. That way, if you haven't seen it yet and don't want to hear anything, then, at that point, just go ahead and stop listening, or else come back in 20 minutes, half hour when we're done and see what's going on. But other than that, we'll let you know because we don't want to spoil it for anyone. Let's see. For the cast, of course, the main Jamie Lee Curtis, Andy, who plays Allison, We have a new character, Rohan Campbell, who plays Corey. Will Patton is back as Frank. Jesse C. Boyd is Officer Mulaney. Michael, uh, let's see, Barbria. I'm horrible with names. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Terry. We got Destiny Moan as Stacy. Joey Harris as Margot. Then just as Martin as Billy, no last name. So I guess he's trying to be like Cher, one word name. I don't know. Let's see, Joanne Barron as as Joan. Joanne is Joan. Rick Moose as Ronald. We got Michelle Dawson as Nurse Deb. Karan Harris is Willie the Kid, who's a DJ in it. Kyle Richards is back as Lindsay. And then it just gets into some kids and some other side people.
I also want to throw in there is along with the DJ, the receptionist is Darcy from Joe Bob.
Darcy the mail girl, yeah.
So I found out right before I watched this that she had a cameo in it, so I was looking for her.
Okay, yeah, that was her. I was like, who is that? I'm like, duh. Okay, now I realize it is her.
Yep.
It's sad. I even met her. Like, hello. I guess I
seen that she leaked. She was in it. I think right after or right before. Is it about the same time it dropped onto Peacock or right before? And I'd seen it because I didn't get to see the movie right away. Well, I could have if I would have made effort, but I didn't watch the movie right away when it dropped on Friday. I guess technically Thursday night.
It did actually. It was like
it dropped early.
Yeah, I thought it wasn't him until like midnight or something like that. They actually had it like at 9 o'clock. I was still watching something else, and I saw that just out of curiosity, because I've never watched anything a premiere on Peacock or anything. That was the first time, so I wasn't sure if they would like say soon or what time it airs. And it was on. I'm like, I was like, wait a minute, it says play. I'm like, can I play this? And they're like, oh, yeah. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know why they went early, but they went early. They have no complaints, but.
Oh yeah, definitely not. So, but yeah, they had done the movie premiere. I think it was like Tuesday, and Danielle Harris finally met Jamie Lee Curtis. They got the picture of them all together. So I'm sure you've seen that picture of her and who else was there? Scout Taylor Compton, and there was a couple of them all together. They did like a group shot with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Nice.
So. But I know, like, Danielle, for the longest time, how she always said, she's like, no, I haven't yet. And she even told the story how she was working on a script, and she was talking to someone on the plane and had mentioned who she was. I see sharks in the corner. You were being asked where your shark was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the spider.
The Spider-Master, what's up? We're talking Halloween ends right now.
Yeah.
We will warn if we're getting into a spoiler.
Yeah, nothing yet. We haven't gotten into that quite yet, but I was just telling a quick story that Danielle had shared, and she had said that she played Jamie Lee's daughter in the movie, and they're like, oh, this person thought she had knew, and she's like, no, we didn't work together, I just played that character. And it turned out the woman was like Jamie Lee Curtis, like massage therapist. she's like, oh my gosh, she's like, hey, she's like, wow, small world. Let's see, I'm working on a Splatoon horror film.
Interesting. Nice.
Heck yeah, well, there's other stuff that's going horror. I mean, Winnie the Pooh, and then they want to do Peter Pan, so yeah. That should be interesting to see a Splatoon one. That's if I'm
is
thinking
that like a cartoon or something?
I'm thinking that's based on the video game. Is that right? Where that's like a paintball and they like try to paint the other person's like side, but to make it a horror, yeah. Maybe like acid paint. There you go. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. More creative, the better.
Yeah. Well, let us know how that goes. That sounds interesting.
Oh, yeah. If you're not a part of our Facebook group, join the Facebook join the Facebook group so you can let us know updates here. I don't even get you the link. Give me 1 second.
Yep. And then they also have let's see, it's called
Dr. Monica? Here, if you're not a part of this yet, join it and give us updates. We're fairly interested.
Yep. And then they're also doing the spectacular contest. Yeah, I gotta get into that. I haven't checked that out yet, but I know that's done every year. So, but yes, it is Spooktacular month, so I'll have to check that out. It's like, guys, so much other stuff. I've still got to do a that brief little haul video from Secondhand Charles that I got when I saw Smile at the drive-in. We stopped at a store that had movies and books, and I found a few cool things. The original Piranha and Monster Man that had Michael Bailey Smith in it. I was like, I got to get this. It's got Michael Bailey Smith in it. He's the Monster Man. I got to get that.
Nice.
So, but yeah, so let's see. Non-spoiler about
I make the
Halloween. I liked it, and I mean, there's been people who have either thought it was crap or they liked it, which you're all welcome to your own opinions. I mean, I enjoyed it, and I can see why people didn't like it, which I'll get into, once we go more into it with spoilers. But I will say, like, the way it ended in Halloween Kills, what Lori was saying about how evil transcends, and like, even though they were trying to kill it, so that kind of plays a part in this one. So it takes a little time to set up what's going on 4 years later, which people already know this, so I'm not really spoiling. It's 4 years later. But I had a couple interesting kills, which I'll get into once we get into the warning portion of it. But I mean, I enjoy it, and I mean, whether you're go into it thinking it's going to be shit, try not to do that. Give it a chance, and you just might enjoy it. So, what would you like to say about it in your non-spoiler thoughts?
Oh, sorry, I was just sharing the Spider-Man Masters. Almost said Spider-Man. The Spider Masters YouTube page for anybody that is interested, because he said I made an update of the movie on his YouTube. So I found his YouTube and I posted a link to his YouTube in the comments because I know I'm interested. So I just contacted with him and shared his link in the chat. So anybody's interested, go check it out, because it sounds interesting. Even though I have no clue what Splatoon was, I don't care. It sounds interesting. Let's see. I already made my reference to Darcy. I did not notice any Halloween 3 references in this movie, unless I missed it. Could have missed it, but I don't know why they would have dropped the trend. They did it in the other two.
I thought someone said they kind of reminded them of the third one, but I don't know which part. I didn't see that either.
I don't know. I watched it and I didn't notice the mask at all. Like I said, I might have missed it, but I was expecting another one. But I don't know why they would have had it in the first two and not the ends. I don't get it, but so I didn't. That's one thing I didn't like about it. But like I said, I'm kind of on the fence on this one. It was a little different,
which is what they were going for, obviously.
Right. I get that. It was a little different. I don't really have complaints about how it being different. It was a little odd on how they made it different.
Yeah.
But other than that, I wouldn't say it's definitely the worst out of all of them, but it's definitely not my favorite. Let's say Kills is my favorite.
Yeah.
But that's just because it has a little bit more of the funny touch in it. The iron, the gay couple. I just absolutely adored them. They have the mask in it a little bit more. Michael Myers has art projects with the bodies. That's more my line of movies. So
right.
as I didn't hate Ends, but it wasn't my favorite. So
I mean, I don't know if it was my favorite either, but I mean, I still enjoyed it. You
yeah,
know,
it wasn't awful, but it was all right.
but no matter what, people are always going to pick at something no matter
Oh
what.
yeah, definitely.
I mean, even if it's the best movie ever, there's always going to be someone who's just going to say shit. So,
But yeah, one thing I didn't like, because Haddonfield's in Illinois. The jock dude, I don't remember his name. I'll call him a jock because he wears the Letterman jacket.
mhm.
The bully of the group. Was he from the fucking New York, the Bronx? What was with that accent? Sure as hell ain't Midwest. I'll tell you that much right now.
Right.
I lived almost 40 years in Illinois. Nobody sounds like that. But
Yeah.
sure, yeah, Spider-Man. Damn it, Spider-Master. Sorry, I keep calling you Spider-Man. Spider-Master, if you want to put in their chat what your movie's about, go for it. I will not time you out, so go for it.
So, but let's see. I guess
Yeah, we'll probably warn for spoilers now because
I
of
think
some.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, because just in case of any of this, no matter how trivial it is, it might be a spoiler to somebody. So
So
I
you'll
would
be
feel more
warned.
comfortable before we continue to warn about spoilers.
So we'll go ahead and
But
give you another minute or whatever, just in case. But yes, we'll go ahead and warning. This is your 30-second warning.
so, apparently, the cat escaped into the backyard, and the dog had to go tackle him, and so he can get back in the house. And now he's in here hollering. It's good having a dog that has herding traits.
Alrighty then.
The never ending saga with our animals here.
Yeah. All right, so you have been warned. We'll go ahead and get into it a bit more. Why or why not people may have. Oh, hey, Waffles. Welcome. Just to let you know, I don't know if you've seen Ends yet, but just about to go into some spoilers. So if you don't want to hear, you're free to go. But thanks for stopping by either way. But yeah, as I was saying, people may or may not like it because of this reason, but it does refer to what Lori said about evil transcending. This one starts out, I think it's like 2019. It's like a year after the whole vanishing of Michael. We are introduced to this new character, Corey, who is babysitting, and the kid is being a pretty much pain in the ass, hiding, running off, and causing trouble, and then locks him up into this closet and pisses Corey off, and he's all threatening to kill him. And uh, someone was in another chat when we were talking about spoilers. It was funny. He was talking about saying that they thought he was going to kill the kid and blame Michael Myers of what's going on.
The kid just gets punted. It was a 3-story house. I know
Yeah,
the
and
staircase looked weird. It was like a 3-story house. The kid just gets fucking yeeted.
Because he was standing in front of the door, and Corey breaks the door down, and it throws him down the banister and breaks his neck. And unfortunately, he kills the poor kid, and his parents come home just as it happens. And I mean, it was a total accident. He didn't really intend to do it. But it was kind of weird. Like, I'm also thinking, like, even though he killed him, it was an accident, like, in a way, like, it triggered his mind or connection to Michael later on when he meets Michael about evil transcending, about killing. He becomes this killer as it develops. Like, what is almost like 30 or 40 minutes into it, there's like this whole story with him before it kind of picks up. But it does, build up after the 4 years. So we go into present, all these people, he's pretty much like the new boogeyman because people are thinking that he did it on purpose. And The group of bullies that you mentioned, like, are calling him a pedophile, even though that wasn't true. The whole thing was an
Right.
accident. But he's pretty much like the town pariah. Nobody wants to deal with him.
Yeah, and even though he got exonerated, people still, the public view is he was still guilty.
Yeah, even though he was exonerated and all that. And uh, Allison is living with Lori now. After all these years, they got a house together, and Lori is doing like these memoirs or a book about what's been going on, what happened throughout her life. She's trying to move on, and she doesn't lock the doors anymore, really, which is kind of dumb in my opinion.
Yeah, stupid.
But now she's like trying to just like all carefree, like, oh, everything's fine. Michael hasn't shown up in 4 years, and but yeah, he's
40 years you're living out in the woods, and you got fucking triple locks and stuff. You got like what, barbed wire fence and traps in your house. But 4 years later, all's good. We don't lock doors. Or live in this. I give her credit for moving this. I give her credit for that, but the rest, no. Gotta at least lock your door, especially in the city.
Yeah, regardless of where you are. Even without Michael Myers, there's still crime. I mean,
yeah. Well, we live in a fairly decent neighborhood, and they make fun of me because I freak out if I find out the doors I can't sleep knowing that the doors are open and unlocked. I can't. And no. And our town's not super huge, but still, it's not a super huge crime rate, but no, fuck that.
Exactly. No. Might as well just put a welcome sign like, welcome, doors are unlocked, help yourself.
Exactly, that's what I tried to say. But nobody listens to the crazy paranoid one. Just like horror movies.
Not at all, exactly. So, but yeah, I think it's like until we see Michael, it's almost like 30 or 40 minutes into it. We just learn about him and what's going on with Lori. And Allison, I guess, is like a doctor's assistant or something, and she's hoping to get promoted. And of course, she works with like a bitch that's only got the promotion. We find out later on is like screwing the head doctor or whatever. So that's why she was promoted over Allison.
Right. And the doctor's an ass too.
Yeah, he got what was coming to him.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so what was I saying? His name, kid, what's his name now? Oh my gosh, Corey. Yeah, I started to say Cole. I don't know why, but Corey is at his job. Like, of course, he's always getting bullied, and Lori happens to run into him, and she pops the tire. She like kind of defends him because she's also like was known as like the crazy one, and so she
right. Yeah, I liked how she asked him. She's like, "So, are you the Are you the freak show or the? How did she put it? Are you the?
It was what the bully said to him. The freak show or the.
Or the was it the psychotic or the freak show? I forget how she worded it, but I liked how she did it. And then
because it was the same thing that the bully said because he insulted Lori. Yeah.
And so then she just flips out her freaking switchblade, and kid's like, "What?" And then she's like,
And what was cool, well, when she was at the store and ran to the cop, and then on the way out, which I don't know why she's still getting blamed for Michael Myers after all those years.
Yeah, they were victim blaming her, and I don't get it why they were, because that's one thing I didn't like about this movie. They were victim blaming Lori.
Yeah.
And saying that she bullied a brain damaged kid and made him snap. Where in any of these movies did that even fucking happen?
Yeah.
It was like, what? No.
Like she taunted him or whatever. Like, really?
Yeah, exactly. And then another thing, it doesn't make sense. They were victim blaming her almost all the way to the end. And at the end, they crowded around her and watched what happened about the fight between. I was like, what? I don't want to get too much into that one yet. We'll save that one in a little bit. But yeah, they victim blamed her. Not everybody, but there was a lot of people that victim blamed her pretty much to this movie. I'm like, what?
And it was the sister of the neighbor, and I'm like, oh my god, they brought her back. Like, I thought she died. Like, that shocked the heck out of me.
All right.
that was her at the
And
store, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I'm like, but how did she survive that? I mean, she lost so much blood. I'm like, how did
right,
she?
they had her in a wheelchair and stuff, but she's like, "Do you even know her name?" I was like, I only know one of my neighbor's name, and that's because he's the fucking nosy neighbor that everybody has to
Well, plus she was pretty much a recluse anyway, so why? I mean, she didn't have to
do.
get
Right.
in touch with anyone.
I shouldn't say that. I know a couple people. You know, the neighbor across the street, like my only friend in Wisconsin. I know her. I don't know her last name, but I know her first name. But still,
Just like Fung, don't even know my last name.
right. It's
So,
like I don't know. But yeah, that's one problem I had with this movie is them victim blaming her and saying
yeah,
that
that was pointless. Yeah.
she picked on the brain damage. I was like, where in any of the lore of any of the movies, and even the previous ones to this trilogy, did Michael Myers have brain damage? And that she picked on it. I'm like, what? Where in the fuck is this coming from?
I guess
I
like
guess they're
something that
just
she
like
was
trying to like suggest.
like
I don't know
saying that
what
it was
they're
her fault
going
that
with.
Michael was after her because after he escaped or whatever, like she had taunted him to try to hunt him down, and then she was the reason he was killing people because of her or something along those lines. But
They made it sound as like he was just a young kid that she bullied, and I was like, no. I was like, because I was saying a brain damaged kid, and he's obviously an adult in these movies, so I don't
yeah,
know. That's one thing I didn't like about this movie. I'll flat out say that. It's one thing I did not like.
yeah, probably could have done without that.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Like, where are they
So,
even coming up with this? It's like none of the lore of any of these fucking movies.
and so Lori ends up because he was hurt from those bullies. She took him to the doctor where Allison was working, and she made sure that he met Allison because she wanted her to like live her life, and she was single and was trying to hook them up. So that's how they met, and like even when they go together, they go to a party, and people blame him, and he runs off because that's why he didn't want to go out because no matter where he goes, he's still
Right. That one I understand a little bit more.
well, yeah,
Just
yeah,
a tiny bit more. I understand because, a kid died in his care.
yeah.
Of course, it was an accident, but still. A
Right.
kid died in his care. I understand that one a little bit. But the other lawyer is just like, it made absolutely no sense. It's like, that never happened at all. But yeah. But it was weird one that they had. Oh, not, I guess they're being progressive by having a male babysitter. I guess he did their lawn. That's why they had him. Because they mentioned that he did the lawn, Corey. That's why they had him do the babysitting, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's what the mom said or dad or one of them
Yeah,
said.
I remember the dad, I think it was, mentioned that he did lawn care for him. So that's probably, they knew him. That's probably why they picked him as a babysitter or kind of knew him. But, yeah, and then they get mad, when he's out, having fun. It's like, how dare you have fun? You killed my son. It was taken to court. He was exonerated. If he was exonerated, that means it was proven that he didn't kill him. So I understand more where it's coming from, but still, like, people, if he's not behind jail or behind the jail, then or behind Jesus fucking Christ, behind bars, then we expect him to be just secluded and like never come out again.
Apparently, that's how the town felt. I guess.
Yeah. But I understand his a little bit more, but it's still. And then he comes across
Michael
Myers.
in the sewers. I was joking around. I'm like, what is he like? Pennywise now? Michael just has
I thought that too.
he has to rejuvenate in the sewers. Every 4 years, Michael goes to the sewers.
When I saw the sewer drain, I was like, oh my God, are they going to do like some sort of Pennywise reference?
What would have been funny if Michael was holding the red balloon? Or if
an orange balloon instead.
or no, if even like when Corey walked in there, like if he had stepped on like a busted red balloon or something. Just as like a joke. That would have been hilarious. Oh my gosh. I still got that it vibe though. It was just funny. Like, oh,
I did too. I did too. So yeah, it wasn't just you. I don't know how many other people. I haven't seen anybody else talk about it besides if they like or hate it. They haven't
Right.
given details, but and I haven't watched any of the reviews because I literally, as soon as we ended it, and I wouldn't watch a review before I watched the movie normally. So as soon as it was over, we went to the store and got straight onto here. So I haven't seen any reviews that anybody's done on it. So I don't know who else has got the it vibe, but I was totally there too. I was like, what the hell?
And then Michael lets him live. Like, it's weird. It shows like a flash of him killing the kid. So I guess maybe they had some sort of psychic connection or something.
Yeah,
That's why
was weird.
I mean, I understood the lines like evil transits, but like for whatever reason chose him, and so we got the storyline of now. Oh my gosh, Corey, a big name. Hard to remember that. Starts his own little killing spree, trying to be like Michael. So like, and even the cop was saying later on when they saw his eyes that he looked different. So
Yeah, the dad and Lori both catch it too. They said they see the
evil in his eyes.
Yeah, it's like because the dad stood up for him until he seen him walking down the street and said that, you know, the Corey he knew when he was watching his son wasn't the Corey that
he saw
killed his son, but when he saw him on the side of the road, he went to, I guess, talk to him or pick him up or whatever, and he
didn't really talk
looked
much.
at
He
him,
just
he goes,
looked at him.
yeah, that was the one that did it. But yeah, because it was like some weird connection with their eyes, and then him and Michael become buddies. I thought that was a bit weird because usually Michael don't give 2 seconds to anybody besides Lori to bond.
Yeah, that was.
But yeah, he bonded, and even though technically, according to what we're given information wise, Corey didn't kill the kid on purpose. He was upset. He was obviously remorseful.
She was trying to just break out of the closet. He didn't know the kid was standing right in front of the door.
Right. Why don't you pick somebody more like along the lines of Dahmer? You know, somebody more of a serial killer type dude.
Yeah.
Instead of picking somebody that didn't mean to kill somebody else.
Or like I said, maybe like even though he didn't mean to kill him, like maybe secretly in his mind he enjoyed that he had killed someone. I don't know.
I'd give you that point.
So, I mean, that could be a possibility because once he like bonds with Michael there and he starts killing, like he's eager to learn to be like Michael, like all of a sudden, like, hey,
true,
you know. So, but I'll end up watching it again and try to see what other details. But I just watched it the one time. So.
Yeah, same. I just watched it once. I might try to watch it again, see if I missed, the Halloween 3 reference. It just puzzles me that they had it like so predominant in the other two, and then the other one, this one, that they just dropped it completely. It's like, why? If you're gonna put little hints of this movie in your other two, why aren't you gonna put it in this one? It made no sense to me on that one.
Yeah. I did one of my favorite deaths in that one. I like the DJ kill, was a fun one.
Yeah.
Smashed his face and they cut out his tongue and it's going around on the.
Yeah, they killed Darcy right before that.
Yeah. She was blonde. She was a short blonde. So, but then
I think she just wears wigs because she'll change her hair quite quickly. Even on the last drive-in show, sometimes she'll just go from like long black hair, short black hair to blonde, and there's no way to dye it and style it that quickly. So she's probably got wigs.
Mm-hmm. I have let's see what else was I say. Once it's pretty interesting. Once we get later on where how he's doing all the killings, Michael does a couple, but Corey's got that, and Lori wants to get Michael to her house. She pretends that she's gonna kill herself, like calls in that there's a suicide, and she's like, "Oh, you think there's gonna be a suicide?" And she realizes that it's Corey, and she's had set the trap for him, and we find out when he takes off the mask, and which was really weird, which I didn't get, was he decided to just stab himself. I was like, what the fuck is this about? Like,
Right, yeah, that made no sense either. It's like he kept saying, if nobody can have her, or if I can't have her, nobody can. How is you killing yourself affect that whatsoever?
Yeah.
I think they was trying to go with like the domestic abuse aspect with that, but still, domestic abusers just don't usually kill themselves without at least doing something to their target. But
yeah,
known from a little bit of experience, but still, that made no sense unless he was even trying to frame her, because she walked in as she pulled the knife out of him, making her think that
making
Lori,
Allison think that Lori
yeah,
did it. Yeah,
but still, it just made no sense whatsoever either. I didn't get that one either.
So after that happens, though, then we get the real boogeyman shows up.
Right.
So we actually see like why some people may not have liked it, because people thought there would be more of a fight between Lori and Michael.
Yeah, I thought Michael almost had the upper hand, but then she like pulled out the knives in the refrigerator.
Yeah. I mean, it was an interesting story about, with him and everything. I mean, if the whole movie was just like a long drawn on fight between Lori and Michael, I mean, it kind of wouldn't have made too much sense, or it would have been too drawn out, or I don't know. But
and Corey's mom too is like, oh my god, helicopter mom much.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
The dad's just like, go find love. I think he was just like, he was done with his mom at that point. It's like, oh my god.
It was interesting though how when Michael came, Corey like goes to grab for the knife, so he was still alive. So like maybe because he did kill people, whatever supernatural force was keeping him alive. Kind of like how Michael seems to be supernatural because of his kills. But then Michael, of course, ends up killing Corey because he used him up enough to his means. So,
and the way Allison just comes on to Corey, it's just like, oh my god, it's just like she was coming on to him hard.
Yeah,
like, I was just like a little blown away by that. It's like I didn't really, because he seemed kind of shy. He didn't really seem like the type she had in the previous movie. That seemed more fitting to like her style, but just came on hard to that dude.
Yeah.
And no matter what got said about him, she just didn't give a shit less. And it almost sounded like she wanted to go on the killing spree with him. It's like, I don't care if you killed people. I will show my love and kill people with you.
Well, she knew it happened. Well, she didn't know that he was a killer. She just knew about the accident, but she didn't realice, like,
I think until she saw the radio place on fire is when it finally clicked.
Yeah.
And that's when I think that was after Corey was dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had seen that. She left. She saw the radio place on fire, so she went back because she'd realized Lori was right about him.
Mm-hmm. And then we got some of it, of course, was like in the trailer when we see them fighting in the kitchen during their final confrontation after all these years, finally. I see a couple people did come in. I don't know who came in, but we are talking extreme spoilers for Halloween Ends, just to let you know. So yeah, when they're fighting in the kitchen and she finally gets the upper hand, and I like how she sliced them up on the table. So all the blood coming out is like, well, that was well, anticlimactic after all these years. Just she ends up stabbing his hands down, kind of like almost like Jesus on the cross. Sorry, forgive me, but
I honestly kind of wondered if speaking of that, when they said later on in the movie, if you know what I'm talking about, when they was strapping him down, I was like, oh my god, are they going to show him crucified? It did not happen, but I was expecting it after the fact.
Yeah.
It didn't happen.
Yeah. And I almost thought Lori was going to lose her hand in the garbage disposal too when they were fighting.
Right.
I don't know. Is she going to lose a hand?
Hey,
Kind of
Echo, we're talking extreme spoilers of Halloween, so if you don't want it
Oh,
spoiled,
yeah.
mute us.
Yeah. So, but
Just
welcome
mute
though.
us.
It's like, hello, you too, but yeah, we don't want to spoil it if you
Right,
haven't
yeah.
seen it. So, but yeah. And then, of course, there's not going to be any burial for Michael. And that's when, so I thought they were going to set him on fire when I first saw, kind of like just burn it. I mean, what they did was pretty good way to dispose of a body, too. When they strapped him onto the car, I'm like, where the hell are they taking him? Then they had
Yeah,
people,
and the fucking cops and like everybody in the town just
follow
It was
him,
a
like,
fucking parade following him to the junkyard with Michael Myers strapped to the top of a car. It's like, what is going on?
I thought they were going to do like some sort of like bonfire in front of the house. Let's see. He saw it last night, and it had some nice kills in it. Okay, so then you know what we're talking about. Okay, no problem then. So you can stick around.
Yeah, I couldn't believe they just strapped him to the top of the car like a fucking deer and had a parade out to the junkyard with him. He goes.
They just grinded him up in the grinder.
Yeah, that's what some because the whole town, because a lot of the town was, it's victim blaming Lori. Then they come out and
she's
watch her.
And then she's a hero for killing Michael.
Exactly, and she's a hero and throws him in. She throws him in the grinder, and like everybody's fine with that. But what? It's like,
but before it was her fault. So.
Right? Yeah, I didn't understand that. I was like, what is going on right now? Unless the people that came out were not the ones that were victim blaming her, but still, it made no sense to me whatsoever. People probably hate on me about it, but it made no sense.
Yeah, that's the few things. They had a couple of things in there that didn't make sense, but I mean, so
yeah. But that was part of my notes too. It was like first the town victim blames Lori, but then comes together to watch her mulch him. Is my words that I put in here.
So it's like, yeah, it ended. His body ended. But with Lori, though, when she was writing her book, she did say that like evil can never be killed. So who knows if they'll do like a spirit later or something? Or I mean, they'll always think of creative ways, no matter what you do. I mean, so does Halloween really end? Who knows? Or even if they decide to do like another spin-off universe of it or something. So it's like, we need Jamie Lloyd back, though. We need Danielle Harris back in one, though.
Right?
They really need to do one of that. But
yeah,
and the cops had no problems. They're like, take the dead body.
Right? Yeah. I think there was just a couple cops that's like they first initially it was like nah. Then the one cop comes out. It's like no, we're doing this. So they're like, okay, he's with it. We're going to be with it. We're going to go along with it too. We're going to strap him onto this car. We're going to haul him down like a deer and go throw him in the mulcher.
We'll have some Michael Myers meat for dinner.
At least Echo agrees with me as well. It was like, yeah, I didn't understand that one bit. It was like, yeah, it was a little apprehensive, but dude gets out of his car with the big hat. I guess he was more superior because he had a bigger hat. I don't know, but dude led the parade.
Yeah. I liked what they did, but like I said, I was surprised if they were going to do a bonfire or what the heck they were doing. They just all start following.
Yeah, but honestly, I thought when they were strapping him up, I was like, oh God, they're going to crucify him. They're going to hold him up on a fucking cross. But no, they strapped him down to a fucking car like that and hauled him off with a parade.
It was an interesting ending. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're done with spoilers now. It looked like someone might have came in. I don't know who, but I saw the numbers go back up. So, but we are done with spoilers of Halloween Ends. So, but yeah. So that's our Halloween 2018 trilogy rundown. When I checked out that Curse of what's that Marlon Wayne's movie? Oh, hey, Aaron, don't know if you were here or came back or whatnot, but welcome back. We are done with the spoilers, so
Yeah, I want to see that Marlon Wayans one. I've been wanting to see it, but we got watching because we're almost done with the TV series Psych. So we just watched several episodes of Psych. We just hit season 8 last night, but when we shut it off, so we're almost done with that. Then we got the 3 movies,
the
but
3 movies, yeah.
yeah. So
Don't forget Psych the musical.
we just saw that was integrated into season 7.
Okay, yeah, that was funny. And it
Mhm.
actually had Anthony Rapp, who was the bad guy in it. He's in Rent. So
Yeah.
that was funny. And I actually saw him. I met him. I didn't get a picture with him, but I had him sign like a playbill. I saw Rent on stage. He was him and Adam Pascal were the 2 only original people, and then there was just other stage people, who do like the traveling. But
Yeah, that was integrated into the end of season 7. So
okay, I couldn't remember if it was 7 or 8, but yeah.
yeah, because we just watched the musical last night.
I like how he's like, oh, Santa Barbara. He's just so.
Yeah, so maybe before we get back into our Psych thing, I'll watch the Marlon thing. Cause I've been wanting to see that. And
They do have some like Walking Dead jokes in there, and he dresses
yeah,
up
I think it was you that said that.
Yeah,
yeah.
I
I
told
was
you.
gonna say somebody told me that, but I think it was you.
Yeah, he dresses up as Rick, and then there's some zombies in it, and some. I was like,
Nice.
wow. You know, which I should say, it was his face like it bit him. He's like, oh shit, am I gonna be a zombie? He's like, because I mean, they're plastic, they're not real, they're just that. But he's like, should I handcuff myself to the porch?
Yeah, I want to see. I love Marlon Wayne, so yeah, I'll have to definitely see that.
And then when you get a chance, you should check out the Midnight Club too. That was really good. The Christopher Pike books and oh my gosh, what's her name? Played Nancy in Nightmare on Elm Street. She plays their doctor in it, and so
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Heather Langenkamp.
There we go, Heather Langenkamp. Yeah. So
nice. I almost met her on accident at one of the cons I went to, because when I went to like turn in the tickets, because I'd like bought tickets online to like the different ops that we was doing.
mm-hmm.
Then when we showed up there, and I turned in the tickets, I didn't notice that they gave me a Heather Langenkamp one instead. I wanted to meet Lance. I never say his name right. Henderson.
Yeah.
Henderson. Yeah, yeah, that guy. Hendrickson. But I wanted him, but some reason they gave us, but they ended up, I was able to switch it. I'm kind of glad because not that many people went and seen Lance just because they had a big like Friday the 13th and no, not Friday the 13th. Excuse me, Nightmare on Elm Street reunion going. So not very many people was seeing Lance, so I was kind of glad that we was some of the few that got to see him. And I was wearing a pumpkin head shirt, and then he loved it. He made his day.
Is that when I get my free bottle of water?
I don't remember if that's when we met Danielle or not. I'd have to look at the pictures because I don't remember which con we saw Danielle at.
The one with, oh man, I can't remember his name next time.
Kane. Are you going to Spooktacular next year?
Spookala.
Whatever.
I'm going this year in December. I was actually just typing an answer, but I'll go ahead and talk since you read it out. I'm not sure which guest I'm going to work with yet, but I will be with a guest again in December. So I don't know who yet. So I don't know. I don't know if they added new guests. I haven't looked at the site in a while. But
while you're looking at that, I promise.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Spider-Man.
To talk about. Yeah, go ahead and read.
We talk about his movie.
I don't know if he's
assuming
still
it's a him
not,
anyway. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Dr. Monica, she's a trolling I don't know what that means. Trolling psychopath doctor, and the main uh, oh God, I can't speak. Thank you, antagonist of the film, but the protagonist is John Gotti. He is a inkling. I don't know what that is either. Inkling, 18 years
That's
old.
one of the like characters from Splatoon. They're like that's what they look
Oh, okay. See, I know nothing about this. I don't know if I should be the one reading that. He's an inkling, 18 years old, who will defeat her, but it's not the only inkling because his friend Joseph Burge and his girlfriend Jessica will stop her. That's how they worded it. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know much about Splatoon, so
The
hopefully
only thing
that.
I know is the Inkling. I don't know if there's like any story, so I don't know if that's. I think that Monica might be like one of the names of them. I haven't played it in a bit because there's different characters, so he's probably just like using like some of the characters' names and then doing his own horror storyline to it.
Nice.
So, but like I said, if you check out his YouTube channel too, I guess he was talking, or he will be talking about it. So,
Right, and I did put a link to the Spider Masters YouTube in the chat, so if anybody wants to hear more about this movie that they are making, go check it out. So we just read the synopsis. I'm assuming synopsis of what they put into the chat. So there you go. I promised just Spider Master, and there you go.
sounds interesting. We'll have to keep updated with that and see if it's going to be like on YouTube or if it's a release he's going to try to do or so. And yeah, not much else going on.
Bob says, hit that thumbs up, folks. Let's go. Come on, show the love. Give a sub, connect, hit the like button, help with the stream, folks. Hell yeah. We got 4 likes. We can do better than that, people. Let's go.
Yeah. Appreciate it as always.
And sometime in the future, when I get off my ass and get caught up, this will be put on Spotify. I think I'm 3 behind right now. No, we're counting this one. I'm 3.
Okay. So yeah, let's see. Friday we'll be doing a show on the 21st with Rebecca Kennedy, who's in the new Arrow film Two Witches, who's in the second half of that. She's been on Criminal Minds, Station 19. What was that other movie? Los Angeles. So a bunch of different ones to talk about. And you're welcome, Spider Master. So it's still in there. We weren't sure if you were still here or not. So yeah, that'll be fun to talk to her about, especially Two Witches. I watched that. It is on the Arrow app, so if anyone wanted to get that, you do get a 30-day trial. It has a whole bunch of Arrow films, and I went ahead and checked it out. Definitely worth the watch.
Nice.
And then haven't posted in the group yet, so people listening here will get the first news on the 29th, Saturday, normal time. Deborah Voorhees will be coming on, talking about 13 Fanboy and all of the other stuff. Nightmare. Friday the 13th. Was it New Beginning? I forget which one she was in there. Bad Me, but yeah. But I'm looking forward to talking about 13 Fanboy. That was really good.
Yeah. 13 Fanboy is.
It is on Tubi.
It is on Tubi. I remember noticing that last week. Was it? The week before? I don't know.
Yeah, it's been on there a couple of weeks now, but it's one of the recent ones. So if you haven't seen that, it's really cool because it's like the Friday 13th and different Scream Queens, and then there's a killer in real life with, there's CJ Graham is in it. Who else was in that offhand?
I want to say Darcy plays a part in that too, but I am not sure.
I mean, there's a lot of I think it was Kane Hodder even at one point, like at a convention. I mean, it's like a fictional real life movie with a killer that's killing off people from the movies.
Nice. Dee Wallace is in it.
Oh yeah, she's like the mom of or
Haley Greenberger, Corey Feldman, Kane Hodder, C.J. Graham, Judy Arneson.
Ernest. Yeah,
Uh,
she's
let's see
actually
here.
she's also in Weird Science. One of the two girlfriends.
Deborah Voorhees is in it.
I think those are like the main people. Like
Right. Yeah, I'm just looking at the cast because I could have swore it might be a different Friday the 13th movie that she's in. But
Mhm.
I'm looking at the extended list now to see if I see. Because I'm probably wrong. I'm just thinking that she was in this.
Yeah, but yeah, I like Fanboy. That was fun. So everybody, you got time to watch it before the 29th if you want to check it out and ask her your questions about it. So
Yeah, I don't see her name on the list, so it must be a different Friday the 13th fan movie that I'm thinking of. But
maybe it's in Never Hike Alone she was in, or
maybe I don't know. I was thinking it was this one, so I'm obviously wrong. So it could be about anything. I don't know.
so. All right. But, yep. So that's for the next couple shows. The 21st. Nothing on Saturday yet. We'll probably figure something out, or we might just yeah. So I'll post later in the week what's up with that. So the next couple of shows, we got some guests coming on. So
Nice.
and then waiting to hear back from a couple of others possibilities. So. And let's see. Great stream. Hope you guys have a good night. Yep, you too, Aaron. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. And hopefully we'll see you Friday. And I think I'm going to go eat just the rest of my Chinese and go to bed. And I got to get up earlier tomorrow. I volunteered for some earlier time because I was scheduled at 10, but they were cutting my hours this week. And I'm like, I need money. So and I'm going to be helping out. It was busy today, so I ended up even helping more customers than putting freight away. But for like the next 4 or 5 days, going to have me in electronics, and I'm going to help because they haven't done mods in that store, and it's just a mess in that section. And since I got 6 years of experience in it, I'm going to help straighten them out and get everything good. And then hopefully they'll put me there permanently, like they should to begin with. So, but I think she's just like testing me to see how I do in that area, and they'll move me over there, thankfully. So
Cool.
yeah, I got to get up at about 6 tomorrow and get ready. So earlier than
I got me a buffalo chicken pizza.
those are good.
Yeah, I've not seen a frozen buffalo chicken one. I've seen like ones you could buy.
Oh, is it? Oh, it's a frozen one.
Yeah, it's a frozen one. It's a Lots and Matzo one, which is, I believe, a Wisconsin brand.
Probably because I haven't seen any buffalo chicken. I don't think, but I usually just get the Red Baron pizza.
Yeah, that's what my son likes. He likes the super specialty one, I think it's called. I know during COVID we couldn't find them anywhere. We went to 3 different grocery stores and could not find them. They just like disappeared and they just started coming back. So, and we had to go all the way out to Woodman's because it's like certain stores carry certain pizzas, but Woodman's, oh my God. I seen somebody had a recording of like the pizza aisle was at a different Woodman's, but oh my God, you wouldn't believe how many selections there is.
Sounds good.
I heard a ding, but I don't know if that's probably not his. I don't know.
I didn't hear a ding, but I heard like a shake like a dog or something, or a cat, or I don't know.
That might have been me picking up my light.
Oh, okay.
It kind of sounded like that.
Maybe, I don't know. I just no. Yeah.
No.
It almost sounded like a collar shaking for a second. Maybe it was that.
It might have been. I just wasn't listening. Rogue has new bling because when we went to the vet, she had to get a rabies shot, so she's got some new bling on her collar.
It's probably what I heard, like shaking or something. I'm not Gus with the super smeller. I got super hearing. I got super hearing.
Right, and I'm so used to it, I probably don't even pick up on it because She wears it all the time. The cat's got a bell, and she's got several tags on her collar, rabies tags and her name tag, which I got to get her a new one because it still has her old Illinois address on it, my old phone number. But
someone might bring her to the old house.
well, Mom and Dad lived there, so but still, that's a faraway trip.
Yeah,
but yeah, I gotta get her chip updated.
Someone finding the old address and be like, "What is this, Homeward Bound?" all across the country.
Right? Yeah, I know. I gotta get her chip updated too. I think that's still registered to the old house too. Probably that's the only other place she's lived besides here.
Well, yeah. Alrighty then, I'm gonna head out and get ready to eat, and since it's almost 9 and get up early, but it's worth it. So, all right, thanks everyone who joined in. Hope you enjoyed the Halloween stream, and like I said, tune in Friday at 7 for Rebecca Kennedy.
All right,
have a good night.
See ya.